What's going on, everybody? This is Gen Sports, aka Gen 76, back here again. And today, I want to quickly recap the Green Bay Packers defeating the LA Rams 32-18. And for the Green Bay Packers, they now get to advance to the conference championship, their second straight conference championship. And Aaron Rodgers has an opportunity of getting this football team. Football team back to the Super Bowl. So obviously they're going to face the winner of the Buccaneers versus the Saints. But the Green Bay Packers, after this game, should feel really, really confident. The offense, the offensive line for the Packers, just starting off with there, was dominant today. They controlled the line of scrimmage as far as going against LA's defensive line. Now, Aaron Donald was limited. He did not play a bunch of snaps. I do feel like that rib injury is still kind of bothering him. I know he wasn't listed as an injury, but obviously he's been plagued with that rib injury since last week, obviously. So he was limited. But I got to give the Rams got some good players in that line, and Green Bay was simply dominated. They were excellent in pass protection, dominant throughout the run game. I mean, they were opening holes left and right. Aaron Jones was a monster today, averaging over 6 yards a carry. Jamal Williams was out there. He was able to get the ball. He averaged around close 5.5 yards per carry. And then you were able to see A.J. Dillon. I mean, the Packers had over 188 yards, close to 200 yards rushing in this football game, and they averaged over 5.2 yards per carry for their running backs. I think A.J. Dillon was the only running back that didn't get the 5 yards. He averaged he averaged close to it. So the Packers were really, really good, not only in the run game and the passing game as well. And you were able to see guys like Lazard make plays. Devontae Adams was able to make plays, especially when he was matched up against Jalen Ramsey. He was able to make some plays there. Scalling was able to make some plays. Stunyon. So just these Packers playmakers on the outside. The offensive line was dominant, and then you look at what they did in the running game. Now, the Rams did make some stops here and there, but overall-wise, the Packers did a great job of, for the most part, controlling the clock for the majority of the game, controlling the time of possession, really taking care of the football. They did. I mean, A.J. Dillon did fumble the ball once, but for the most part, the Packers were just really, really good when it came to management. And they never really blew the lead. Now, the Rams came back and they continued to fight, and they were very, very competitive, especially when the score was around 18-25, when the Rams scored pretty quick. I think with Robert Woods scoring a touchdown. However, again, you never felt like that the Packers were going to lose this lead. You never felt like that the lead was going to be in jeopardy. The Packers were they were the better team, right? Jared Goff is still dealing with that thumb injury. I still feel like that thumb injury played a major factor of why he's not been playing well in the playoffs. But even then, pass protection was not holding up for Jared Goff. The running game, once they finally were able to get it going in the second quarter with Cam Akers, then that's when the Rams found that recipe for success as far as how they can try to waste some time off a little bit off the clock, try to slow it down, give the defense some rest, and try to have those nice slow drives and try to punch it in for some scores. And again, they were able to get the game 18-25, but at the end of the day, man, the Packers defense and the Packers offensive line, they just dominated the line of scrimmage. The Packers, especially the Packers defensive line. I mean, Kenny Clark, who I consider the best nose tackle in football, was a beast out there today. Rashawn Gary, he was able to go out there and make some plays. Zadarius Smith, man, I mean, ever since he was with the Baltimore Ravens and he had that one good year in Baltimore, he came to Green Bay. They paid him some money. A lot of people were skeptical because they didn't believe that Zadarius Smith was going to be that pass rusher. And Zadarius Smith, ever since he walked through the door, he has been the Packers' best pass rusher, and it hasn't even been close. He was effective tonight. Right, he had a sack in this game, but he was effective. He was creating a lot of plays, especially for players like Rashawn Gary and Kenny Clark to go out there and get the football. Preston Smith as well. We got to give him some credit, and just that front and the back end of that secondary as well for the Green Bay Packers. They played excellent. But again, Zadarius Smith, man, if I had to name probably the MVP of this game, it had to go to Zadarius Smith. He was effective, getting to the quarterback, relentless pressure all day long. Man, he has become one of my favorite pass rushers to watch. Definitely a very underrated player. Definitely should have been an all-pro player this year. Very, very consistent. But the Packers, yeah, they were, again, this was a dominant win for them, in my opinion. Again, they won on both sides of the ball. And we talk about the Saints as being one of the best balanced teams, the Buccaneers too. The Packers have shown not only can they throw the ball, but they can run the football. They still got the offensive line despite the loss of David Bakhtiari, the best left tackle in the game. and also having the defense and the pass rushers to get to the quarterback, which, again, in the playoffs, you don't need to have the best run defense in the world. You don't even need to have the best defense in the world. But one thing that you need to do, you need to find a way to get to the quarterback. You got to find a way. We've seen for the most part, a lot of the Super Bowl winners, they all found ways to get to the quarterback in the playoffs. And the Packers have certainly got that identity. That is one of the biggest identities of that Packers defense. They can definitely get to the quarterback. And if they can continue that momentum going into next week, whether if they got Tampa Bay or New Orleans, we've seen both teams struggle when they go against really good pass rushing teams. And the Green Bay Packers is probably the best one out of all of them. So if you're a Packers fan, you got to be very, very confident in this game. You got to be very, very confident that the Packers were not only able to win this game, but they were able to win this game convincingly and pretty much win it in dominant fashion. If you're a Rams fan, I know that you guys are disappointed. I know, these guys were injury-riddled like crazy. And obviously they're going to go in the offseason with their heads down. However, they got some promise, man. They got the best defense in the league. A lot of those players, I think, will be coming back next year, so I don't think they really have to deal with that much of free agency compared to what they dealt with going into this year. They got to figure out what they got to do with Jared Goff, and they got to figure out what they're going to be doing on the offensive side of the ball. But otherwise, the Rams are a really, really good football team, and they should be back in this stage definitely next season. So if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe. Definitely helps out my channel a lot. And yeah, that's all I got. So yeah, anyway, Jan76, aka Jan Sports. Have a good night, and I'm out. Peace.